We're gonna get to that. So, David, go ahead and finish.
I love you.
Close this. Go ahead and close this out.
All right, man. So she brought up religion. And
PK's gonna watch.
I probably will. What up, PK? And 2 Bible verses that stick out to me. One is the righteous man falleth 7 times.
Old Testament or New?
Go ahead now. Come on, you preaching now.
Shut up.
Hey,
When I brought up the Bible, y'all was asking me.
Come on, keep going. Go ahead.
King.
All right. And basically what that's saying, there's nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
No, I didn't say that.
Because Jesus was perfect and they
No, that
still
was
hung
free.
him from the
They-
cross.
they-
That was
Okay.
so
Okay.
confused.
Jesus, y'all ain't shit.
And
That
then
was
he
so
let Peter
confused.
eat with him after he betrayed him. So listen,
Views.
the Messiah. Don't play with
Yeah.
Okay, let him go. Come on.
I'm going to hell.
And then
No, I'm
other Bible verse that comes to me is love conquers a multitude of sins. So when do you Yeah.
Rap it.
You know what I mean?
You spit
Wait,
now.
so you're
Hold on.
saying again we
Okay, let
gotta
him finish.
endure?
Well,
Let him go. Let him go. Come on.
so if you love that person, when do you so you decide because they're not doing what you're supposed to do, but you love them? Is it really love?
Sometimes suffering is the greatest way to
Okay.
display
No,
love.
you're
and
not
it's
going
not-
to get that off.
Look,
See, but this
Wait, let him
Let him
finish. Let him finish. Let him
Yes, close
finish.
out.
All right.
My
I'm
fault.
sorry, David.
Yeah, my fault.
Y'all good.
I
No,
thought
no.
it was
no.
a-
Go ahead,
I
David.
tried it.
I will close this out by saying that polygamy and cheating is a rich man's sport. You can only do it if you're rich. Thank you.
All right, go ahead. David.
Y'all saw what happened to
Hold
Kraft
on,
a
you
couple
guys.
of
I
years
want him
ago.
to finish this out so we can
Okay,
move
go
on.
ahead, David.
And now, so all I'm saying is how do you cross? Like when do you draw the line if you're saying that you love this person?
Is it unconditional?
How deep is our bond if
Right.
that's all it
Everything
takes
is
for you to be
conditional.
gone?
Everything is conditional.
Ain't no
That
such
means
thing
we
as
ain't Jesus, we
unconditional.
don't know no hype.
He's talking about it. Let him
Bars.
go. Let him go.
Just
Let him finish, please. Hold on. Are you done or that?
No, I like
I'm sorry, I
that.
just
No,
think-
no,
we
no,
need to
I like that. I like
go ahead,
that.
David.
I like that.
David.
I need y'all to let him finish. Come on, guys.
Yeah, man. Redefine the podcast.
Okay.
This guy.
But yeah, no, but yeah, but real, I feel like if you love some bursts, okay, so now we got to talk about loving somebody or being in love with somebody, right?
Okay.
And the difference. And when you're in love with somebody, you can overcome their shortcomings. I guess that's the right thing.
This is in love? This is
Tolerate them.
In love.
In love.
Okay, in love. Okay.
You can get over it. You can get over whatever it is that
They're lacking.
they're lacking.
Work through, not necessarily get over. 'Cause
Work.
that shit fucking hurts.
It does.
Okay.
But you love
Resentment
them,
comes
right?
from that.
Yes, black man, I'm hearing you. Go ahead, I'm listening.
And I feel like when you're in love with a person or love cultivates a multitude of sins, it means that you can accept it.
But just because you
How?
accept it don't mean you have to stay in that shit. Though.
Okay.
I want to.
The Bible also
It's a
tells you
thin
to
line.
forgive 70 times 70. I believe it says so. You're supposed to keep forgiving people, but
70 times?
Yes.
You want me to-
70 times 70.
70
Yes.
times
Yeah.
7. Okay,
Yeah.
so but it's
490.
also
Hold on. I want to hear that. Go ahead,
you
Des.
cannot just keep repeating the same offense. If
Come
you
on.
slipped up one time, okay. You do it again, maybe okay for some people. Again, okay, but then at what point do we cut the cord?
At
Like,
490,
okay,
at
that's
70 times
Not
7.
no 70 times.
So
Exactly.
480, I'm
So
cheating
whatever it is,
489
biblical
times.
perspective,
Damn
yes,
lie.
it would be like, you keep forgetting, but at the same time, there's a fine line between how you treat someone you love.
So you made me think of something, D-May. Or David, where'd you go out on here?
Baby daddy, okay.
Strong black man.
Baby daddy. Yeah.
Singer.
So
Father.
two
This nigga.
people, and I'll use women because that's like the consensus. 2 women might have different perceptions on what is tolerable and what's not. So,
Yes.
for example, and then
Yes.
that's depending on the man. So, Coretta Scott King, Martin Luther King cheated a grip on her,
Like a
right?
motherfucker.
But hold up. But what is he doing though? Like, I'm gonna hold him down anyway, and that might have worked for her. But a person like Destiny, who's very faithful and like religious based, that might not work for her. So it's like,
Different
so
times.
so yeah, right.
Right though?
So
Keep going.
two different people might have Damn, what is it that you said? So okay, this is what I was saying, that sacrifice is the ultimate, in my opinion, the ultimate form of displaying love.
But you
the
said,
more you sacrifice, but what
you said suffering though at first, right?
yeah, I'm changing. I said
Yes,
sacrifice.
Okay, because
So-
I don't want
I
to
said
suffer.
suffering can be, but I'm
Okay,
saying
so now we're
sacrifice.
saying sacrifice.
Sacrifice is the ultimate.
Got
Not
it.
the way you feel about somebody, not the look, not how good looking they are, the way, you know what I mean? Not sexual arousal. That's not it.
Okay.
It's the sacrifice that you make for that person. That's the demonstration of love. Now, here's the thing. You don't want to sacrifice to the point you're being disrespected.
That's right.
But
That's right.
everybody
yes,
has
yes.
different opinions on what respect
Disrespect
is.
is.
Because
That's
you're
right.
sacrificing your self-esteem, your character to me.
Yes.
Here's an example for me. This is me personally. I could do a girl who got drunk with her homegirls, bachelorette party, went to Vegas, cheated on me, or had sex with another man, came back and told me about it.
No, fuck that.
I'm talking about me. We might be able to work through that. But a girl linking up with her ex for 30 minutes a day,
Mosaic.
like 2 or 3 times a week, just to talk and get coffee,
You can't get over
Mosaic.
that.
Bro, let him finish.
Yeah, we gotta let him finish.
I'm out.
We
They
gotta
never
let
let
him
you
finish.
finish.
I'm out.
All right, so
This
You
the
don't
shit
even-
that
you
be
don't
making
even
me
gotta
want to
touch
fight
it.
you.
Hold on.
You don't even gotta touch it.
On that note, we're gonna take a really quick break so we can refill cups.
Mosaic.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
what we have to do? Go to the
Destiny
bathroom.
gotta go pee
And we're
again.
just gonna
So
take a quick break. Is that okay? That's good. All right, go
Except
ahead,
what?
guys.
On the podcast.
Look at baby.
So silly.
We're rolling.
All right, so we have to take a quick little break so we could, just breathe. So the question that I'm gonna start with, guys, as we gather ourselves. Thank you.
It's the dark
Okay, right. Thing 1 and thing 2. The next question that I'm gonna ask is gonna be personal. It's about yourself.
fuck.
David, you haven't spoke a lot.
Oh,
He hasn't.
sure hasn't. I
You
was thinking
haven't-
that.
you haven't
You see his
spoke-
face?
Listen, man.
Don't
You
attack
haven't-
him, please.
You
Listen.
haven't spoke a lot, so we're gonna start with you. So,
I'm just here for the food and the drinks.
so
And camaraderie.
you haven't spoke a lot. So I'm gonna
Spell it.
start. I'm gonna start with you.
It's about to be some bullshit. Watch.
This question is:
It's some shit.
how do you know the love is real? It's 2 parts.
Oh, fine.
How do you know the love is real, and how do you need to be loved?
Shots fired.
I plead the 5th.
No, come on.
I will exercise my right to the 5th Amendment.
Lord.
That's what happens
Let's
when you
go.
give people liquor.
What?
Let's start. Like, for real. Let's do this.
Say okay.
So
say
the
it
first
again.
part of
Let
the
me- I
question
gotta
is:
concentrate.
how do you know the love is real, and how do you need to be loved?
How do you need to be
Folks,
loved?
I just want to let you know I think she did this on purpose,
No,
Your mother.
and
you
I don't know what that
haven't.
means.
The reason why we're doing this is because you haven't spoke a lot.
I
So
have.
everyone
No.
else has
I have
spoken.
commentary.
David,
Just drop
David,
some gems.
answer the
All right,
question.
just drop some gems.
Everybody
Only
got
have-
it.
Just drop some gems,
All right.
bro.
So
just drop
how do I know the love is real?
yes.
Don't interrupt.
That's a good question.
It is.
I'm okay. All right.
Yeah.
Do you so do you need more time? Because I can come back.
Just answer
Well-
the second question.
It's a
Hold on.
2-part.
You don't need help.
He got
No, man.
So I can come back to you.
No, we can do this. Let me do this so I can
Okay.
so I can get out everybody's way. How do I know that love is real? I don't know if you really know.
Okay.
I think that you have to just explore. I don't even know where I want to go with this because there's so many things going in my head right now. I think that, okay, so I can always go back to the Bible verse that I talked about. Love covers a multitude of sins. I think that when you love somebody, you accept them for who they are, flaws and all. I don't think that there's anybody that's perfect. And also going with Bible verse or Bible terminology, I think that you can't judge a person if they sin differently than you.
That's a good one.
And so I understand that as far as I go, that there's going to be hiccups along the road. And if you're willing to ride it out with that person, I think that shows genuine care. I think that like, okay, so like even in like my past relationships, like, so I've been in a relationship where I was like crazy about this girl and like crazy in love. And every time she hurt me, I wanted to just love her more, to show her like, hey, I know that you're going through something, and I want to show that, hey, I'm still here in spite of the situation. But then, which is crazy, with that same person, years after, we reconnected, and then she did something again, and then I just could not deal with her. And so I don't know if that's just the growth. And I just know that even though I still love her, I feel like, mind your business, fix your face. I know that I couldn't deal with her. But
So for the love to be real, then you feel as if for you to know that the love is real, the person is going to endure. So the hiccups,
I feel like the ride,
tolerate whatever you're going to
tolerate is, so endure and tolerate, I feel like it's two different things.
So then what to you? So just that first question.
Okay.
To know it's real, it is.
Like you're along the ride. You're supposed to get refilled during the halftime.
You're supposed to be answering questions.
All right.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing.
All right.
Okay, so part 2 of the question
is,
how do you need to be loved? And you can also say,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't.
There it is.
Okay.
No, and I really don't. There's certain things that I do like, but as far as if I can just pinpoint, like, okay, yeah, I need you to do this, then this, and that. I feel like half of the time I'm all over the place, anyways.
Yeah.
So you don't know your love language.
No. She's spitting now.
No,
She's
not.
spitting.
No,
But
no.
it's-
Let him finish before
No, I'm
asking.
asking.
No, because it's not just
That's the
about your love language. But go ahead, finish.
Well, is that considered love? Is that love?
No,
language?
No, finish.
No, finish.
It was
No,
a finish.
I'm
It's
fucking
okay.
with you. Go ahead.
She messed me up.
I'm sorry.
As long as
How
it
do
wasn't
you
me.
need to? How do you need to be loved?
What do you need?
Okay, so like, all right. Let me put my drink down.
Do it.
All right. So as a man, the first,
No,
Pers-
you,
I understand that.
not man. You.
All right, me.
He's a
Well,
man.
but I'm just saying in general. So the first person that you fall in love with is your mother,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not being weird or anything, but
No,
that's the
no,
first
no,
person.
it's true.
Like
Got
on some
it.
Norman Bates shit or just
No,
like
No,
nigga,
got
that's,
it.
Now that's
Got it.
all right. And so that's what you learn from growing up. I feel like in my specific situation, my relationship with my mom has never really been what I guess everybody would consider love. Like she never told me that she loved me. I feel like the emotional connection wasn't really there. And then just a lot of other things that intertwined with some of her decisions of her choosing to do her
Mm-hmm.
and neglect me has put me in a place of like insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep.
And so I don't know what it is that I need because I'm still figuring out and because even till this day, like our relationship, it's weird. And, of course, I reading the Bible and being in church and, there's a constant thing about love of God. And one thing that I can say or correlate is that God doesn't show relax, man.
No, you're good. You're
he-
good.
I,
No, you're
I'm
good.
trying to. Yeah, I'm trying.
No, you're good.
I was listening.
That he's not easily offended.
Right.
Okay, and so when I think about like my relationship with my mother and the type of things that she's done, it shows me that like where I've lacked. And as growing up, trying to receive what I think is love has
Can I
been-
ask you something?
Yeah.
So ultimately, do you think that has affected your ability to love at times? Like,
That's a good question.
you know what I mean? Because like, I feel I'm so in depth with what you're saying because like I share the same relationship with my mother too.
Okay.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, do you think that a lot of your shortcomings or the things that you lack are due to that?
I think that with my relationships, I won't.
Like,
Trust.
do you bring your mommy issues into your relationships? That's what I'm asking you. Because I know I
also
fucking do.
believe that people don't like using those terms. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Not that it's wrong
No,
or that it's
yeah,
right or
yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
but I'm saying when you hear someone say, well, when you hear like someone say, well, she has daddy issues, it's instant like, oh my God, she has
Right.
daddy issues.
No, because like I'm a woman and don't have
connotation.
daddy issues. I have mommy
Yeah,
issues.
it's
That's-
the connotation
you know?
of it. So you can be like, or you have mommy issues. It's not a bad thing. It's an unfortunate thing that you've had to go through, right? But that's a good. I like that. So
Yeah,
David,
yeah.
go ahead. You can answer that, and then we're gonna move on to the next person.
I think that because of the way I was brought up by my mother, it's made me not trust the people that are or women that have gravitated towards me. That whether I can play it off,
Abandonment issues. Got it.
crazy.
I get it.
I have crazy abandonment issues.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So you feel like
I'll
if
give
your mother was present doing what she was supposed to do, that you wouldn't have these issues?
Well, not present.
Or,
We're talking about
you know-
Glenda. We're talking about Glenda. Now,
Right.
I'm not talking about my
No, I
daughter.
know.
So now
You
that's a
talking
whole
about if she
nother
was
thing.
if she was providing to you the things that you needed, that you wouldn't have had these issues.
I think that she plays a big issue in the way that my mind operates when I
When
deal
you
with
think about
women.
love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can we talk about how important it is that you do the work as adults to break those generational things?
Well, I'm gonna go.
Because now that you recognize that,
Yeah.
you know, how long have you known and you haven't even done the work to correct it?
I don't even know
Where do you start?
exactly.
Mhm.
And that's
So hold on, before we start anywhere else, I'm gonna let you finish it, and then we're gonna keep going to the next person because
Okay.
I want to keep it on track so everybody is still good.
Okay.
But go ahead and finish. Did you have anything to say to that, or
no, I was gonna say, well, the way that I operate as far as with my mom goes, I operate as in, okay, this is what she did, and I know that that's not how it's supposed to go, so I don't do it.
Okay.
Facts. Okay, so you at some point learned.
So you identified it.
Got it.
I've-
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
So
Moving
hold on
on.
to that, and we're gonna keep going.
Okay.
Okay.
Yoshi, you're next.
Am
So
I- oh.
how do you know love? How do you know the love is real? And how do you need to be loved?
For me, I feel like I know when love is real. I don't remember who said it, but sacrifice.
Mosaic, yeah.
Yeah, Mosaic. So when I tell someone, hey, I don't like when you do this, and they say, I'm gonna work at changing it, and they act like change, there's actual change behavior.
Yeah.
I know that that person loves me because they're willing to
The value.
Adjust.
to
Yeah.
to please me essentially. And I'm not that they're willing to change or change who they are, because the core of who you are always stays the same. But you're willing to make certain adjustments so
Okay.
that we can work. And for me, I feel like that's something that I've just recently experienced. So now I know, like, that's what I need. I need somebody that's going to be willing to make those adjustments. And
Mhm.
when I acknowledge or when I say, hey, this is not cool, I don't like this, I won't tolerate it, and they are willing to make that adjustment, then I know that person loves me. That's what I need to be loved. And I mean, I just need time.
So would you say
That's
so
important.
willingness
willingness. I need someone
And you need time.
and time and commitment.
Mm.
So
What does commitment look like to you?
Yeah.
commitment is just communication. When you say you're going to do something, you follow through. So don't say, "Hey, I'm going to take the trash out," and then it's
Right.
not taken out. It's really
Right.
like stuff
Simple
like that.
stuff.
Just
Right.
it's follow through. So
Okay.
when you say you're going to do something, actually do it. And if it's not something that you can do, then say, "Hey, I can't do that," or "I'm not willing to do it."
Yeah.
And let's go from there. Let's figure it out. And then time to me is important because there's no price. Like, time is money. It's valuable. And
Yeah.
to me, when somebody is willing to say, "Hey, I'm not willing to," or I won't hang out with my friends because I want to spend time with you, or I won't do this because I want to spend time with
Right.
you, that means so much. It would mean so much more to me for a person to say that than to say, like, "Hey, I bought you a bag,"
Right.
because I just feel like I can get money and buy a bag myself.
Mhm.
But I
I like
can't,
that.
I can't say, like, take someone's time from them and make them spend time with me.
Facts.
So it's just their willingness to do that.
I like that. That's
like that
good.
a lot,
That's
yeah.
good.
That's really good. Okay. Classic.
The poet himself.
Should we say
How do
Lauren?
you know the love is real? And how do you need to be loved?
I know the love is real is when you're actually paying attention.
Come
And
on.
when and I say paying attention, actively listening to me
Mm.
and understanding exactly who I am as a person,
Right.
as a man, whatever you want to dissect it to be, because I'm going to move in a certain way. So when you're paying attention to me and you're able to complement those movements,
Mm.
that mind frame, that mentality, okay, because time, exactly what you just said, time is forever. My time isn't.
Mm.
So as we occupy
That's
each other's
such a good
space and
saying.
time,
Yeah.
and building this bond, because I look at it, it's not about you doing for me and it's not about me doing for you, it's about creating this bond. You can kind of say like a baby,
Mm-hmm.
then okay, there's something to respect and appreciate. And then with how do I need to be loved is the same thing I just said. It's listening. Not saying listening to me give you instruction and direction and what to do, because I'm not about to tell grown ass a woman what the fuck to do.
He's
I'm
spitting.
going to give you understanding of who I am, how I move, the intentions behind of why I move this way, the insight of why I believe in moving this way.
Right.
Then guess what you need to do? If you know this, then you will show it through your actions. If simple as this, if you know that
I'm sorry. Would you consider that following? Like you want to be able to lead, right? Like is that? I'm sorry. I'll be thinking.
I don't correlate how to be loved as far as leading.
Okay.
I don't correlate that.
Okay.
But to answer that in the sense of the way that I was raised,
Right.
my parents have been together over damn near 40 years.
Right.
So my father has been the leader of this household.
Right.
Taking note as a man who didn't have his father.
Mm.
Mother, taking note, family's all fucked up.
Okay.
But guess what? Them two toxic motherfuckers
I figured it out.
have had a conversation that has been continuous for 40
Yes.
plus years.
Yeah.
That's good.
And guess
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
They're still together.
Right.
So what
Yeah.
I know as to be genuine love and how to operate, and also taking note, they're both Marines. Both. of them.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Discipline.
they-
Discipline is embedded in
discipline
them.
is
Yeah,
key
yeah,
for
yeah.
my life.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, my person has to have that level of discipline, but with the understanding that we continue to practice discipline. So how
Yeah.
I need to be loved is as simple as say,
Sounds militant.
it's very militant, very structured. So hey,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot something, which
Remind
I
me.
shouldn't, nigga, take out the trash because I understand that.
Right.
I'm not gonna be insulted by you saying, nigga, take the trash out. Nigga, well shit, oh my bad. I'm gonna handle my business.
Versus someone being petty and trying to make you feel stupid for it.
Yeah.
Well,
Because that's what would
well-
that be what kind of like you couldn't just tell me to do that?
well, yes, I will address that
Okay.
in that way, but at the same time, I'm gonna look at it and say, you whack because I already know you're doing it.
That's weenie shit.
But
yes!
I know what it's about. Because again, my
You gotta
whole,
stay on topic,
no,
guys.
my
You're
whole
good.
upbringing is about me thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not a person that's going to be reacting. I'm not a
Right.
react first. I'm a responder, meaning I'm going to let you do what you do. I'm going gonna observe, and I'm gonna see how you move, and then I'm coming to get your ass.
Okay.
But because that's how I was raised. Now I have learned different, routes to take with a person, but once I
Right.
understand. But how I personally need to be loved is you have to compliment exactly the way I move. That's how I know a person's for me.
Mm.
Don't fake the funk, because I know people who are not genuine. And
Yeah.
when I smell people that are not being genuine with me, ooh, that's opportunity for me to have some fun. Because you give me opportunity to fuck with you.
Right.
And I'm going to take that opportunity.
Okay.
And I either will fuck your whole life up, or you're going to stop it before I go there.
All right. So how do you need to be loved? Give me one word you would summarize that with. Is there a word?
Yes. And the answer is respect.
That's
Because the way
good.
that I
I knew you were
move, the
gonna
way
say
that I
it.
move as far as within home life and street life,
That's
respect.
good.
All I have is my respect, and I'm willing to die for it. And mark my words, you want to take it there, I'll go anywhere with you.
Right.
Respect is the ultimate. Because to respect me is to love me.
That's right.
If you don't love me, you don't respect me. So therefore, how you want to play this game? And
That's
I'm willing to
good.
play this game.
That's good.
You didn't say
All
it in
right.
the microphone at all.
No, he got it though.
Respect
We got
is
it.
everything.
He got it.
Tattooed on.
He got it.
Like
All right.
Most
So Destiny, I'm there to you.
Okay.
The question, do you need me to repeat it or
Yep.
you got it? How do you know the love is real and how do you need to be loved?
I'm a piggyback off of Miyoshi. I feel the same way as her, is like I'm making corrections and you're fixing it because we were raised differently and we have different needs. So if I'm asking you to correct something, or I'm asking you, telling you what my needs are, and you're fixing it constantly, I'm saying, wow, you really love me because you're sacrificing, what you know for what I believe in or what
Right.
how I live.
Mm.
I feel like I need to be loved. I'm really just simple. I'm a little bit like respect. I've always, respect is key for me. I'm a big cuddler, so I feel like words of affirmation and like physical touch is really important to me. Andrew, on the other hand, he was like rather me buy him stuff. And I'm like, and that's his love language, is buying me stuff. So I might be really like down and I really just need a hug, or I just want to cuddle, and like, you just tell me you love me, and he comes with a new pair of shoes and I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm like, great, thanks. But that's what he perceives as love, you know what I
Right.
mean? So that goes back to showing that you love me, is I say, you know what, I really needed this instead of this. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep the shoes.
Right.
But I'm gonna keep the shoes.
Yeah.
But I need to be hugged at the end of the day. Like, especially owning a business, it's just a lot in a day that can happen.
Right.
It's a good day or a bad day. And so like, I think his effort, or the effort shown between two individuals just trying to meet the needs of another person, is really important, because you're sacrificing how you may feel that day. I mean, he might have a bad day and just think of like, oh, she needs a hug, and sacrifice what he needs for me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
important to me. And at the end, I'll always ask, whenever I state what I need, I'll ask what you need. Maybe the next day when I'm feeling better, I'll say, okay, well, what did you need? Or, like, what makes you feel good? Or, what you had a bad day, so what can I do to fix it for you? I think that's important, is just getting the other person's perspective. So to me, that shows me that you love me, is like, even if you don't like cuddling, or if it feels weird for you, doing words of affirmation. Or for instance, when we did the engagement shoot, like, we're not PDA people, but we did the engagement shoot and he sucked it up and was like, like, okay, I gotta smile, I gotta hold her, I gotta kiss her for 10 seconds. And he was still kind of with it, you know what I mean? I know he was extremely uncomfortable, but for me, that shows me like, okay, you love me, because, this is not your shit. Like, you are out of your comfort zone completely, but you sacrifice how you feel internally for how I will feel at the end of the day. So to me, that's important.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Views.
Can you question me one more time, please?
How do you know the love is real and how do you need to be loved?
No, you didn't have a long time.
I know love is real because of the love that I wasn't shown or felt.
Okay,
Um,
expand.
I feel like my daughter changed a lot of that. I feel like once I started understanding what self-love was, I understood that. How do I need to be loved? Just because I do have abandonment issues, and like I don't trust a motherfucker. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I don't put nothing past nobody. I just don't. Like, hey, love all you motherfuckers, but y'all can do something crazy tomorrow and be like, ooh, hey,
Right.
knew her, knew him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that just goes with me. So I know I need to be loved and knowing like, hey, you're protected. You're safe. I'm not gonna leave you. I promise. Like when I say I'm gonna go, I'm coming right back. Like,
Right.
kid you not. Tons of affection. I don't know what's wrong with me, but very affectionate. Like if I'm just laying there hanging out, like please throw a leg over me or rub me or kiss me. You know that leg putting me to sleep, babe. No, you know,
You're done.
kiss me on the forehead. You know, like I need to be loved very delicately. Cause I know I come off real like, nigga, I'll slit your neck, nigga. You know, Scorpio energy is crazy. You know what I mean? Like I come up like you could actually, a lot of people that like are really close to me. It's like, you know, she's got this demeanor about her, but she's so sweet.
Yeah.
You know, because love is meant to be delicate, and it just, you know what I mean? And it's like sweet on the inside, and it just like, but you know, for me, like I'm only 26. I'm still figuring out my trauma, trying to raise a girl and being like, look, don't settle for that. You know, even though I settled for it, that shit is fucking hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's just like, I just know how to be loved delicately, and I treat the people around me as such. Like we don't even have to be blood, and hey, I love you. Hey, you're fucking awesome. You're beautiful. Hey, calling you, checking on you, just let you know I'm thinking like, because I know that those are the things that keep me going. So I know that the people around me, I offer it to other people because I'm just like, hey, if nobody told you today, I fucking love you.
And
You're
you're
fucking
good at that. You
champion.
really do that.
Yeah.
I will testify.
Yeah,
you
you
really
really
do that.
You're a winner. Hey, keep doing your shit. If nobody else sees you, I see you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just little shit like that. And even in my relationship, you know, it just, you know, it's we're married and she'll fuck up. Let me buy you something. Let me buy lunch today. But if it's vice versa, no, I'm not trying to buy you shit. I want to talk about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I get it on love language. You know, everybody.
And how you're raised is so different.
Everybody's shit is different. Like, I don't know that level of communication. It's more like an ass whooping.
Right.
Or a domestic violence or something. But I already went through all that shit. So it's just like, okay, now that I'm in this space, how do I deal with somebody who only knows to financially supply if shit is not coasting? Okay, let me meet you in the middle.
Right.
Appreciate this. Yeah, still gonna take that.
Exactly.
But let's have this conversation so that, hey, I fucking love you. You don't have to buy me a motherfucking thing. Cause like I'm cool with not having nothing.
Right.
Like I've had nothing.
Yeah.
Literally.
Right.
That's good.
It's cool. I just
And you
want
can buy your own.
I can buy I just got a raise.
Period.
I really did.
I know you
But-
see the picture.
Hello?
He's so
A
sweet.
little bit of sauce, right?
Look. But it just like, you know, it's love is so delicate for me because it just is it's the ugliest, beautiful thing I've ever experienced, but it's also made me like this fucking monster, but in the most beautiful way.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I really love that word delicate because I feel like we don't use it often enough, especially when it comes to Black women, because we have to be so strong. That's like what we were raised to be, is strong. And I think that our strength,
Survival mode.
and I think that our strength often gets misconstrued for meaning that we don't need support and we don't need love and we don't need help. And we can be strong but still need help.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I think that, I mean,
good.
for my family, we tell each other we love each other all the time.
Yeah.
I could talk to my mama right now and be like, okay, love you, bye. She'll call me back 5 minutes later, okay, love you, bye. Like, and people always be like, why you tell your mom you love her so much? Just because I don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
You know?
Day by day, you never know.
But yeah, I think that especially just delicate, loving Black
That's a good
women
word.
delicately.
That was a good
it is
word.
so it's like an antique.
Yes.
You know, something that you like take
Cherish.
pride,
Yes,
cherish, and
yes.
take pride in,
That's good.
and
Yes.
you just hold on to it, and it's value.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we have to love
like that.
ourselves like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that we need more of that from the world and from men, and especially our Black men.
Yeah.
You know, we need that.
All
And
right.
that's where the disconnect comes in, is because they're taught to not really show their emotions like that. They're taught to be like hardcore.
Yeah.
And then we're taught to be like the tough ones that can endure all this stuff. And then you need this from this man, but this man is taught to not really give
Right.
love like that. So it's like, it's hard.
Yes.
A Black man and a Black woman is hard.
It is.
Hello.
All right, Lawana, you're up. How do you know the love is real, and how do you need to be loved?
I know the love is real by what it compels me to do, what just naturally it makes me want to do, even if it's outside of my comfort zone, even if it's not even if it means me compromising, then I know it's real. I need to be loved by, don't judge me, good sex, transparency. Transparency,
Booty rubs.
transparency, open communication, and just that, like, just free, like, just having an open mind. Like, that's how I need to be loved. Like, to just go with the flow and know that life is going to happen no matter what. And so just let life happen and live. So that's how I need to be loved, like for us to go on that path together and just let life happen and know that we're going to get over it. Know that we're going to go through we're going to go through the ups, we're going to go through the downs, but we're going to go through it together. And it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And we just need to let it happen, not try to prevent it, not try to do all that other shit. Just let it happen. And like, let's get through it, and we're going to come out on top of it. And we just need to live through it, like continue to live and thrive and just be just authentic. Like, that authenticity is so important to me.
Yeah.
Transparency is so important to me. Just being being organically yourself. Like, that is how I need to be loved. Like, me seeing your true colors and then deciding for myself if I want to sign on for it.
That's
Because
good.
if you show me, then I'm making a choice, because the choice is mine. Like, you know, if y'all want to go ahead and quote the Bible, you know, and God says, you know, he gives us, what is it?
2 million times 80.
I wasn't going to say that, but
Free will.
I was going to say
Free
he
will.
gives us like he gives us our free will to like, you know, but that's not the word, but he gives us our choice to choose for it. Like, there's a Bible word, but I've been drinking.
There's a Bible word.
Um,
And I've been drinking all in one
I've been
sentence.
but God gives us that, like God, like, you know, he'll, like, you know, Eve, why is that apple in there? Well, because God gives you like that choice. He allows you to choose. He's already given you all the facts. He's put it on the table. Now you have a choice. And so the same thing goes. I just like how I need to be loved. I need you to put it all on the table and let me choose if I want to sign on for it, or if I want to pick that card, or if I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then allow me to walk away, but put everything on the table and just give me the choice. Don't hide anything from me. Don't, like, be transparent, be authentic, be organic, and just give me the choice, because you might be surprised what people will sign up for when shit is
That's
on
true.
the table.
Okay.
That's
You
true.
might be surprised.
daddies.
You might be surprised when you see when everything is on the table. You might be surprised when it's like a buffet. Like, you might be
When it's a
surprised what
buffet.
somebody puts on their fucking plate.
Smart.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know, but
Good
put it on the
analogies.
table and let's just see what they pick up.
Yeah.
And so that's how I need to be loved. Put all your shit on the table and let me see what I want to pick up.
See what I want to eat.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know
and
what?
that's important to me. That's how I need to be loved. Put that shit, put everything, and don't not put it on the table. Don't cook that shit and then don't put it on the fucking table. No, put all your shit on the table and let me figure out what I want to put on my
What I
plate.
say? Put it on the
Right.
plate so I can eat it, baby.
So that's
So
how I need to
silly.
be loved.
So silly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I need to be loved.
you
I
know
need
what?
you to give me a choice.
I like that. And I feel like I was, as everybody was focus thing one and thing two. As everybody was talking, I was trying to like think like, well, what is the answer? Like, what is, I don't even know the question now that I've read it 100 times. How do I know the love is real? Like, I'm thinking like, personally, I don't know I can't. I don't even know how to respond to that. I feel like it's such.
everybody because it's such an
Absolutely.
experience.
Yeah, I feel like it's such.
Perspective is a bitch.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it's such a hard question to. I feel like it's such a hard question
Don't do
to
that.
answer.
Right.
I feel like it's such a hard question to answer. I feel like it's such a hard.
Think too.
I feel like it's such a hard question to answer. I feel like it's such a hard thing to respond to. I feel like I don't even. I asked the question, but I don't even know.
But if you don't,
But- And then I also, when I think of like, how do I need to be loved? I feel like I'm learning that. But I'm learning that only because I've been learning to love myself. And so for so long, I think because I didn't love Deanna or I didn't do proper self-care or whatever,
Right.
because of those things, I did not know what it took to love me
Absolutely.
because I was willing to accept whatever behavior you gave me
Absolutely.
because I did not know myself. I
Right.
did not know what I stood for, what I did not stand for. But now, as I've learned myself, as I've began the process of learning who I am, my standards have changed.
And honestly,
But it's still going.
you saying that's the root of everybody's situation.
Yeah.
Because it stems from something in somewhere.
Yeah.
We have something in common. We have something we all have something in common. May it be different avenues. Hey, same block, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just different experience. And so,
Then
I
that's
don't think there's no right or wrong way.
Yeah, I don't-
Because we all,
no
I don't
right
think
or
that.
wrong
I don't
way.
think there's a right or wrong answer to do it.
No
Yeah.
right or wrong way. But here's the thing is that if you don't know how you need, if you can't clearly answer that question of how you need to be loved,
that
how can you expect
fuck
to get
something.
into
Come
a
on.
relationship and be happy with that
She's
person
spitting.
and then be like, I'm not happy or this is not
She's
fulfilling or
spitting.
whatever the case may be? You don't even know how to communicate to that person. So all these questions you guys just answered of how you need to be loved, you need to be able to clearly communicate that to your partner, whoever you're dealing with and whatever aspect you're dealing with them in, relationship, entanglement, whatever that case may be, in order to even deal with them. Because if you can't communicate that, how can they then do it?
But
And
that
then
also
you can't complain
no, but then
if
you
they're not fulfilling that because you didn't even.
but I will
You
say that doesn't mean
communicated.
that I can't be in a relationship.
I'm
that
not saying
means
you can't be in
what
a
I'm
relationship.
saying what I'm saying is that I do believe that I have learned. So it doesn't mean that I can't be in a relationship. It
never
doesn't mean that
said-
it doesn't
I never
everyone
said
is
run it back.
everyone
I never said you cannot be in a relationship.
everyone is in this process. Everyone is in a different place. So no,
Great.
they may not be able to communicate what they do want or what
Great.
they don't want, but it's ongoing and it's learning. So where
Great.
you are at this age is a different place you are at that
But
age.
I never said
So,
that you
that's
never can be in a
different.
relationship. What I said was, if you really look deep into issues that arise and things that come up, they stem from you not being able to affect it. So all of you guys, how you answered, being unable to communicate how you need to be loved, you might find that that may be the root of a lot of issues that you have in your whatever situation
Because I'm gonna get my shit
that
off.
you may have because you don't even know how to communicate with your partner what it is that you even need. And just as simple as that question was, just to answer it here, and everybody struggled with it, you need to then look at it and be like, well, damn, if I can't tell you what I need to be loved, my partner doesn't even know what I need
Well,
to
no,
be
I don't
loved.
think that.
And then
I don't think that everybody struggled answering it though. I don't think that's a fair analysis.
And then
No.
my partner is only loving me by their love language, and it is proven that how you love somebody is a different love language than how you need to be loved in your love language. There's two different languages, but if you can't even communicate that, then how then does your partner then love you the way that you need, or decide to sign up
But Luana,
to be in that to even decide if they
when
want to
did
love
you get
that
to
way?
this place? You're at a different place. So you can't say that everybody struggled to do this or to do that because you're in a different place. 5 years ago, would you have been able to say that? 4 years
No.
ago, would you have been able to say that?
Absolutely
It's a
not.
growing
All I'm
process.
saying
Seeds are
is
being
that in this
planted.
present moment, I would like for everybody to take on and sit with the idea that with that one question, how do you need to be loved? And then look into your relationship and think about how you answer that. And then ask yourself, well, damn,
if I couldn't even really, I mean, you had to think about it. You had to think about it, which means your partner is only loving you the way that they know how, not the way that you need, but the only way that they know how. And then sit with the idea that, well, damn, could this be a part of why we may or may not be experiencing whatever it is that we may be going through? Because I haven't even been able to communicate with them what it is that I need from them.
But how does that prove that I'm not having that relationship and that conversation in my relationship? Because fuck that. I'm about to get all this shit the fuck off. I don't care. You could sit there, you could cry. My fucking 9-year-old cries. And suck that shit the fuck up. Hold on. Because this is stupid. I'm grown, you're grown. Let's talk about it. I don't think the fact that we took time to think about it means that we did. No,
but you're
no,
talking
no,
about
no.
it. You're talking about it, but you can't even communicate what you need.
How do you know?
Because you couldn't even sit here and tell me right now when she
I couldn't?
asked you.
I couldn't?
She was very
You
good.
wait. The fact that here's the thing. The fact that it took you time, so
It's gotta be a fast response for it to be validated. That's what you're saying.
No, not to be validated.
Low key.
But we've all been in relationships, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. You're in a relationship right now, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So you know what you would need in this current relationship to feel
I don't
love.
think
Yes
that
or
the way
no?
I don't think that your way you're doing this.
No.
I don't care for
I'm
it.
asking her, yes or
so
no?
we're gonna move on to
I
the
would
next
say-
one.
I would
Very
say no.
much. But also too, I've been with this
We're
woman.
not talking about been with.
No.
We're talking about
No.
current.
Okay. So
Okay, currently,
stop it.
we've
Stop.
only, this is only our
Moving
second.
on.
This is only our second year
Huh?
being married, and if I couldn't communicate
respectful at
what
this point.
I've felt up until this point, we would have got divorced a long fucking time ago.
But when she
'Cause you're
asked
not-
you right now what you needed to be loved,
delicacy, that's what I need.
That's what she said.
you hesitated though. Everyone
She was
here.
making
It's called
an
process.
answer that was going to be
It has to-
correct.
it has
She
to be-
wanted
Yeah,
has
I
to
didn't
be
want to just
processed.
say anything.
Great.
I
got it.
just wanted to make sure like I'm saying what I'm saying, and it's not just because like everybody else's answer sound good. No. I need to make sure I know exactly. It's delicacy. That's why it's such a good word. Yeah, it is, because people aren't thinking about how fragile they fucking are on the inside.
Yeah.
We're
Which
broken
everyone
fucking
else-
people. We're broken as fuck, especially when you talk about being black on top of trying to look. There's so much shit that comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many fucking layers.
Yeah.
Like our childhood is just a fucking speck. We gotta make sure we fucking make it home every day too.
Yeah.
Different conversation. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You
Yeah.
understand? Like it's so much bigger. But as far as this, nigga, delicacy and
Got it.
I had time. I
So
needed
I
time
apologize. I
No, no,
misconstrued your
But she's not wrong.
to think. No, not at
Because
all.
yeah,
not
Nobody's
she's
at all.
wrong
right.
or right.
She's right.
Nobody's
But-
wrong or right.
but-
I'm not looking for a wrong or
'Cause
right. Let me
everybody's-
state that.
I
Let me
know.
state
But
that.
your
I'm not looking-
analysis is
I'm not
based
looking
on
for a
how
wrong
old.
or
I mean,
right.
not
Marie,
even
hold
how
on,
old
Jess,
you are,
go
but
ahead.
how mature you are. So if it may take me till I'm 22 to know how I need to be loved, but it may take her 28 because she's brought up differently. My mom teaches me, instills in me how I'm supposed to be, but her mom may have not done the same. So maybe she had to figure it out for herself, whereas my mom is feeding it to me.
Yes.
She's telling me, you need to be loved like this. You need to
Yes.
know your worth, where she has to figure it out. So it may be like you need to tell the person or you need to understand how it is for yourself.
And-
However, it does have to do with maturity and
Evolving.
experience and
Yes.
things like
Evolving.
that. Evolving.
And-
That's
so
what I'm
everyone,
saying.
yeah.
Even then, when your parents are feeding it to you, when you grow up, you might realize that that's not what
That's
you
not
want.
you.
That's not
Yeah.
what you have to
That's
unlearn
what
it
they
and
need.
relearn what it is that you do want.
Which is
But
why
let me
people
say-
that are the really good relationships that last are usually past your 30s.
Yeah.
And everyone in their brain thinks I need to be married by like 23,
25.
24,
Yeah.
25. That shit is not real. You don't know who you are at 25.
Yeah.
You don't really start to
Sure
develop who you are
fucking
into the
did
late
it.
20s, maybe into the 30s. And then that may be different based on your upbringing. Even a good upbringing, it might be 30 plus. But then maybe someone that's struggling how they were raised differently or maybe raised not the proper way,
Yeah.
maybe late 40s.
Yeah.
But shit, you learned it. You
Everybody's
know what I
journey is
And then the
different.
journey, the time
Exactly.
frame is
But let me
different.
say for the
So
record,
that's
though,
what I'm
I
saying.
was not trying to prove I don't believe in a right or wrong. Like your how you feel is how you feel.
Absolutely.
That doesn't make me wrong, and
Absolutely.
that doesn't make you right. So I
Absolutely.
want to really put
I
that
can't
out
see
there.
it.
Like I wasn't looking for a right or wrong. I was
Absolutely.
putting my
I know
perspective
that.
out there, and I
I know that.
respect your perspective. But that doesn't make you right. That doesn't make you wrong, and that doesn't make me right or wrong.
If we
It-
sat here trying to
Go-
focus
hold
So
on
on.
I
right
just
and
wanted to
wrong,
put that out there that I was not trying to make you wrong in any way.
If we sat here and focused on right and wrong, nobody here
We
would
would've
have
had
a
But
voice.
I just wanted to make sure that I made that clear that that is not what I was.
Didn't take that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Love
Classic, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry. I saw you
Nah,
thinking.
I think it's really more, again, back to the root. we are
Mhm.
all children to someone.
Hello?
And it started from the root. Everything that a child learns to adulthood is learned behavior. I think we got to understand that
Yeah.
very
Mhm.
clear.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what you know, what you believe in philosophy and ideologies it stems from a root.
It's passed down.
Now, we have unlearned or we have customized the belief system
Mhm.
to where we currently are at.
Absolutely.
However, with that being said, we go into this body of individuality into these relationships that will either progress into a result that is forever or has a season. Because we all been in multiple relationships. So
and
that-
people are meant to be experienced,
so that's
not possessed.
that's
So
that's
stop
the point.
trying to control people.
So when it comes to that, again, it's like, just like you said, which is very valid. What you know at 20 may not be what you know at 30.
Yes.
How you need to be loved at 15, because we all have this introduction,
Right.
may not be what we're at 30.
Right.
I will raise my hand and say that what I believed at to a percent, to a degree, to a level, at 21 is not what I believe at the age I'm at now. That's not the case.
Yes.
It has evolved. 35, if you must know. Trying to expose that.
No, I was
Slick
just
ass
asking
nigga.
how old.
She's
Damn.
fly, nigga. But
Listen.
anyway,
You're
But-
27.
but at the end of the day,
We gonna
again,
get
this is
27.
again, we all have evolved. We have figured there's levels to this shit. It's not about the whole. We don't know what love is to the full extent because we're still trying to figure it out. We have
Right.
we have to be really truly honest.
And
So when
there's
it
no
comes,
blueprint.
there's no blueprint. We're drawing that, especially when it comes to experiencing different
Other
individuals.
Right.
There's no
Individuals. It don't matter if you're a
Yes.
fucking Virgo. It don't matter if you are if your parents
Gemini.
abused you from one to whatever. It doesn't matter. We all have to learn and unlearn. So when it comes to that, we got to experience. If we don't have experience, then you damn for sure shouldn't be in a relationship regardless, because at the end of the day, you should be able to communicate with that. That's the reason why when you're in a relationship, it is somewhat of a transaction. It is somewhat of a business. It is somewhat of an understanding, because at the end of the day, how are you going to fucking deal with a person you don't even met? So at the end of the day, you saying that you know a person after 3 years when they've been living with themselves for 20, 30
And
plus
they're
years,
still figuring it
you
out,
make
right.
no sense.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you have to be patient with oneself because of what you don't know, and patient with one from what they do know, and vice versa.
Don't
Yes.
drop that mic because we don't got no insurance on it.
Well, no, the only reason why I'm saying that,
He's a
because again, it's
professional.
not about far as the vulnerability of a woman and the
Right,
strength
right,
of a
right,
man
right.
or
No,
what we know.
This
It's
is just like human shit.
it's just what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It's like I can deal with a person that I've known. I can say because I am a divorced individual. So I can say, yeah, I know that woman. Yeah, absolutely. I know the core and I know her spirit. But when I experience another woman, I can't say I know love because I was fucking married. No, that don't mean shit. It's a whole new person.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's a whole new person.
Come on.
So we have to kind of
The organs.
we kind of have to take a step back to that whole notion of knowing what love is, to the point where we have to know what is required to love a person.
based
Because
off of individuality.
if
Yeah.
I like the lights off during sex, you may not like the lights off with sex.
I want you to see.
How do
me.
we compromise? No, I'm just saying.
No, but that's a whole listen, but see, that's a whole nother. So this is where that comes in. How you need to be loved and how I love are two different things. They will always be two different things. So now, once you communicate with me how you need to be loved, I now need to sign up and determine and have that choice, because you put it on the table. I need to now choose if I can love you like that. Because if I can't love you like that, I need to let you know I can't do this. This is too much of a compromise. This is too much of of me conforming and changing who I am. I can't love you like this, but I can do this. And then you need to make the choice if you're going to sign up for it. And that's where the communication comes in to determine if we can be in this relationship. And that's why you have to be able to effectively communicate how you need to be loved. And I need to be able to
Yeah,
effectively
she is back
communicate
at the
how
same
I
point.
love in order to determine if we can love
Dear
each
Lord.
other.
But
Because if
Oh
we
my
can't
goodness.
communicate those two things, we can't decide if we want to choose to be in this relationship.
Decisions don't get made off the first conversation.
No,
Let alone it
no,
gotta
No,
take
but
years
here's
later.
the thing: up front from jump.
But it-
Up front from jump. If I say, if I up front from jump, I say some crazy shit like, "Nigga, I need you to be open minded to let me do X, Y, and Z to your booty hole." Boop. I need you to be able to let me know right now if it's on the table or off the table. And then right now, if I'm telling you that's how I need to be loved because that's something sexually I need. This is on the table for me. Now you need to make that choice if you're gonna pick that shit up or you're gonna be like, I can't choose that.
Can I say something?
So up front in the first conversation, we need to decide. And that comes with sex, that comes with having children, that comes with marriage, that
Okay,
comes with
hold on.
everything up front. We need to decide how
She said up front.
Let's move
She said
on
up
from
No,
front.
up
topic.
front
I'm gonna say
because
one thing.
people are waiting
Can I say
too
one thing? Can I
long
say
to
one thing
have
to close
these
it?
conversations and then
I'm
wonder
gonna let him
why,
respond.
oh my God, I've been in relationships for this many years and this shit didn't work out. Well, you didn't have the right conversations at the right time because I believe putting that shit on the table and then letting you decide whether or not we're going to move forward. Because before we can be in a relationship, when we're just in that talking stage and we're dating and we're doing all the fun shit, the fuck shit, all that stuff, I'm putting everything on the table for you to determine before we get in a relationship, we get serious. Because before this shit gets serious and we're building and we're doing all that shit, before we get past the fun shit, I need you to pick up some stuff off this table. And I put it all out there. This is what it is. Now,
All right.
before we move to here, I need
Luana.
you to decide.
Luana.
And if you can't pick that shit up, we can't move on. And that shit needs to be up front. And people wait too long to pick that shit up.
Okay,
So
hold
put that
on.
shit
Can I
on the
say
table.
need
one
to stop.
thing?
I
Can
need
I
to
say
stop
one
for a
thing?
second. Hold on. So I need to be able to wrap this up. So I know you're passionate about this,
I'm
but
gonna
I need
sit
to
back.
be able to wrap
I mean,
it up.
I'm just gonna sit back.
because-
I'm done.
Can I be honest
So,
with you about
go.
something? My opening line to my wife was, I'm not shit. Because at the time, bitch, I really fucking wasn't shit. But I said, guess
Facts.
what?
I knew.
She didn't even.
Damn.
No, she was
Don't
there.
do her.
No, she
No,
was there.
I knew.
And
She
you was
said
there.
it.
So I'm saying, when she's saying be up front, I get that. But from the jump, hey, I did this in the past. I fucked up this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I pulled up the next day with my daughter, like, and I have this too. So what you fucking with me or no? Because this
Or no.
Okay.
5 years. So I get that. But it's just like, to a certain extent too, it's just like you
Don't pick that shit up and move on.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Don't pick that shit up.
Okay, so that's it.
Alright, that's
Thank
it.
you. Go ahead and
That's it.
rebuttal. Do you have anything else to say about it? And then I'm
not
closing
really a
that
rebuttal,
out.
not a rebuttal, but more or less is the fact that it always takes time.
Yes.
believe
We've all had experience where information was given and we made a decision whether it was well thought out, because time is always the factor and measuring stick of whether we decided to
How
do
did that
something.
work out?
No, I'm just saying all
let
of
him
us. I
finish.
said all of us.
Right.
We've all made a decision. We've all you've done stuff as a child to adult dealing introduction of men in relationships to where you've done some things where you thought about it, it's like, you know what, I shouldn't have done that shit. We've all said we shouldn't have done that.
I just think
So
everybody
when
should go at their own pace.
Well, no,
You know
that's the
what I
key.
mean?
That's the
I
point.
get what she's saying, but like
That is the point that I'm
Yeah,
making is
yeah,
that we've
yeah.
all done it.
I'm agreeing
So
with it.
whether or not is you've had multiple relationships, you have multiple, all of us.
Yeah.
So now the question is where is those motherfucking multiple relationships at to the current status of where we're at today?
shit.
That nigga that you was dealing with past then is not here today. We all have a before
Right.
and who we're dealing with after.
Right.
So when I'm saying that's the point where we're saying how did that work out? Exactly. It didn't. Because we had to learn. We had to experience. So now you're able to, you've evolved. You evolved.
Right.
You evolved. I've evolved. So now we know there is further questions to ask. There's
right.
further observations we need to have. Because at the end of the day, the way you were when you were 18,
It's not
where
the same.
I'm not, I mean, I don't know your history, but I'm not going to assume that. But to the past of you dealing with men, I know it's not more than one. But I can tell you is that you've learned how to deal with men based off of your experience.
Yeah.
So you can't deny experience that you have with men and what you've learned. You're not the same.
Fair assessment.
Your spirit may be, but the way you deal with men is not the same.
No.
The way you deal with women is not the same. The way that I handle women is not the same. And I'm telling you first and foremost, from a divorce, and yes, there were relationships before the fucking woman that I married.
Right.
But again, I'm an evolved individual. So
Right.
now I know to how I can progress. If it's not about progression, you're digressing.
Come on now.
Period. But at the end of the day, we're all learning. We're
Yes.
all learning. A man,
Yes.
you either have a man or a relationship that you're currently dealing with now that the way that you're handling it was not the way that you handled it back then.
Right.
And if it doesn't last,
Right. Right.
The future motherfucker, you're not dealing with them the same way.
That's right.
Because there's no way.
Because you evolved.
We evolved, and it's a different individual.
Yes.
So as long as you're consenting of allowing yourself, we're all here
That's really
to
where it's at.
learning
Yeah.
who the fuck you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Because every nigga is not the same. Every female is not the same.
Yes.
They may be the same in the way that we
But
think of it in
hello.
variations, but the quality is there. You got to. I mean, it's just again, my marriage didn't last. I'm not regretful. I it is what the fuck it is.
How long was you married for, King?
Shit, about 5 years.
Okay.
But at the end of the year,
I was
but
at
then-
I was at the wedding. I just want to let everybody know that. I was
But
there.
at the end of the day, again, who I am today, far as the way that I deal with women, the
Yeah.
way that I approach the situation, the maturity level, the evolution, the level of work, the caliber of women I deal with,
Everything
is
has
way
changed.
fucking different.
Yes.
And I'm gonna respect myself at the end of the
Yes.
day. Is that if it's not for me, it's not for me.
Right.
And that's some may come time at the first introduction of conversation of hi, my name is this, or even when we just chilling at the beach talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, for me, my program is simply this. Before intimacy, the way that you want to think of it, it won't happen unless we have conversation. And I'm gonna say this: when the communication
you put on
stops,
the
the
table.
growth does.
And so in that, you put it on the
Let him
table.
finish.
Put that shit on
What's
the
the
table.
next-
Destiny,
no, no,
But you have to learn that.
Hold on.
What's the
Destiny,
next
what were you
question?
saying?
I'm gonna say and then I'm done. But because I feel like I'm coming from like a rare place because me and my fiance, we have known each other since we were like 12.
Really?
So so I have seen, when I say I have broken up, like going back to earlier when I'm like, we broke up, we made up, blah, blah, we keep moving on, is because the same exact reason what we're talking about, you don't meet the same person. We started dating when I was 21 and now I'm 29 and we'll be married when I'm 30. So it took
Come
all
on,
that
chocolate
time.
drop.
Yeah, if we did not care about how each other was evolving, we would have been married at like 23 because we were so in love. But the person that I met when I was 12, clearly not the same person I'm about to marry.
Right.
Hell no. You know what I mean? And even between us, like before we even got together, he had a kid. So, even us evolving into who we are, watching him be the man he is, there's no way that if you meet someone at a certain age, you're going to keep continuing to date the same person. I had to not keep breaking up with him just a few times. But when I broke up with him, when I got back together, it's because I saw a different person. It wasn't
Right.
because I was opening up to the same person again because
Right.
that's tired. I'm not that
Yes.
person. I don't have time to waste. So to me, it was like we had this life plan, but the same person I started dating at 21 is not the same person I have now. You have learned to become a man. I've learned to become a woman. When we start growing at the same time, we had a disconnect. That's when we break up. Because it's like, okay, maybe we're going on different paths. But once we start aligning ourselves again, or if you really want to be with me, you got to keep up. You know what I mean? I have a lot of goals set for me and I have a lot of things that I want for myself.
Absolutely.
If you want to keep up, if you want to be with me, you have to keep up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You got to find a grind and you got to go with it, So I think that as a person goes throughout their years, especially 20 to 30 is a very crucial age group right there. Like,
Yes.
I don't care if you find yourself
Very.
after 30,
Where was I at
20
21?
to 30. Yeah, because you're dealing with, you kind of been let loose, right? So you're finding yourself who you want to be.
Yeah.
But you don't completely figure it out by 30. Even if you think you figured it out, that's why people change their majors so much. That's why people
Yeah.
get divorced so much. That's why people change their different relationships and whatnot, because people are really trying to figure out who they are. A lot of people come out when they're in college. They
Yes.
don't come out in high school. They come out in college because that's when they're figuring themselves. No, you didn't find me, bitch. You didn't. I knew. No, but people they're coming into themselves, they're figuring out, and then once they figure it out, maybe their different lifestyle, then they kind of like build on it. So I think that there is no certain age to where people figure things out. I think after 30, that's when you start becoming like the real person that you're supposed to be. And the first 25 to 30 years of your life, you trying to figure stuff out, which goes back to you. If you don't know how you need to be loved, it's because you're young, you're figuring out. That person is not ever going to be the same. I mean, if you ask Andrew, he'd probably be like, hell no, you're not the same person. I might thought I was perfect when I was 21. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe when I'm 21 and we have a disconnect, I don't know how to communicate that.
Right.
How do I tell you that I need
Right.
to be loved like this? When I'm 25 and we broke up and we're back together now, and I'm like, you know, I don't like the way you do that. Actually, I really think that I need this from you.
Evolved.
But had I said that at
Self-worth.
21, where would we be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's how you're learning things, how you learn even being alone, which is I think is a problem in our society and our age group. People don't know.
Don't invite me nowhere. I'm
No,
not
people
coming.
don't know how to
Just
be
say that.
alone. People don't know how to be single. They don't know how to stay
Yes.
their ass at home. They don't know how to
Oh,
do things
man.
on their own. They always have to be accompanied by someone else. They always have to be in a relationship, on a date, and things like that. But there is beauty in being alone because you learn yourself. Even this quarantine is a beautiful. People that have really learned themselves have come out better out of this quarantine.
And started
People-
podcasts.
Yes, but people that do not know themselves and that wasted this time,
Redefine.
we talked about it, are going to come
Yes.
out the exact same way they went in, wasting
Hey,
time.
you're a living testimony.
Period.
I swear to God.
Period. And I mean, you guys can hear about that on my podcast. I mean, on the episode.
Okay? Because I sure
Yeah,
did build
because-
me a whole studio in the middle of a pandemic.
I was there. I went there yesterday.
So, all right.
To my house.
We're gonna wrap it
Oh, I
up.
thought you were talking about my city. Yeah.
No, I haven't been yet.
I was like, you went? What a psycho.
She has a new one. It's on the way. It's on the way.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. So, as you guys can tell,
Part two.
We need to do another one.
Yeah, because I'm excited.
This is fun.
Can we
I
talk
love
about
this.
Can we talk about what's going on in the world?
I thought we were talking about sex.
We didn't have no
We
sex
will.
conversation.
we're not gonna have that on here. That's on the game part. So just chill out and relax as I get ready to close this up. Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
Y'all?
Hey,
Okay.
gotta
she's
piss
the
her off.
captain. Everybody
Yeah.
be quiet.
Okay. I let you guys talk a lot, but
David's not doing his job,
still
so
my
I'm
shit.
no
So let's get it together.
Redefine the podcast, everybody.
Look at baby.
Thing one. Thing one.
You can't put them next to you next time.
Never.
Yeah, put them on the end.
I'm gonna have Classic and Miyoshi next to me.
Yeah.
Or you and Classic.
Definitely
She's
not
gay. Hey,
Not you.
what she
I
don't know
want
is
you.
I'm gonna
I
just
don't
be
want
next
one
to
next
you.
You're gonna be on the end. We're done.
You're right next to me.
Fuck you. I don't want to
All right,
sit nowhere
so
near your
anyway.
ass.
I didn't do nothing to you.
As you can tell, Redefine the Podcast is full of a lot of emotion. It is one of the biggest things about doing this podcast was to be able to provide a voice for people that I knew, for Black people, for people to provide a face to what society says that we're not doing. This is proof that we are having hard conversations. This is proof that we are transparent. This is proof that we are breaking boundaries and barriers in all of these many things that people think that we're not doing. This is proof. Redefine the Podcast has brought people together with very different outlooks on life.
Yeah.
Whether you agree or you disagree, whether you're not sure or you are sure, we have decided that we were going to create a space. This space is not supposed to just stay for Redefine the Podcast. This space is something that we want you to go and make with your own friends, make with your own family. We want you to be able to have these hard conversations. This is what builds our community. This is what builds our families. Communication and talking is what's going to break so many generational curses that we're still learning how to figure out. That is what Redefine the Podcast is. If you've listened to any episodes, if you've watched one game video, if you've done any of that, you will see that the whole idea of Redefine the Podcast is to encourage the collective, is to uplift our people, to uplift people who think that they can't do it. This is what it's for. It's to have these discussions about love. It's to have these discussions about not knowing. It is to have discussion. Redefine the Podcast. That's what we're here to do. That's why we're here. Thank you for being a part of my first full season of episodes and learning with me and growing with me and watching me develop this idea that I had in my head. It was one of the hardest things that I've decided that I was going to do. It's one of the scariest things that I've decided I
Talk
was
show.
going to do.
God said talk show. Redefine Dean McCoy at 2 p.m. On the shot of fall. God said it. The Messiah.
Next time, just water.
So,
Redefine.
as you guys know,
Say look at baby.
this is a big deal to me.
Ginormous.
Huge. So thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for answering questions. Thank you for reposting. Thank you for telling somebody. Thank you for not listening. Thank you for not wanting to hear it, because what you're doing is
1 star.
what you're doing is by not listening or not paying attention to it is you're still speaking life into me. You're preparing a table.
Come on, D.
And
Presence of
I
my
can't
enemies.
wait.
Come on,
and I-
she's spitting, nigga.
And I can't wait for you to be there, a part of this.
Yeah, 1 stars. We out.
I am a person that came from something, and we've talked about it before. I've came from a very difficult place, a lot of character building in my life, and so to sit here and to do something like this, where I didn't have to ask for a penny from anyone to do it. Anyone that provided into this episode, into this season, has just did it because God has put it on their hearts.
Sowing the seed.
They have sown their seed. Anyone that has taken part of this, it's because they wanted to. So let this be that. Let this be my seed into your life. That I'm planting a seed. You can do it.
Yes.
You can do it. I don't know how else to prove it to you. I don't know how else to show it to you. But that I sat in my house for the last 5 weeks, 5 months, planning a podcast and brainstorming and talking to people and crying and being upset. And by the end of the season, God has provided a space for me to do what I feel like I know that He wants me to do.
Yup.
So that's my seed to you. Thank you for being a part of Redefine the podcast season finale. You will catch the new season starting January 5th. Don't forget to tune in. Don't forget to grow. Don't forget to love yourself and be kind. I cannot wait to learn, grow, and redefine who we are together. I love y'all.